If you've ever suspected your smartphone might be plotting to take over your life, or if you find yourself thanking your GPS for its guidance, don't worry, you're not alone.
Welcome to AI Explored. AI Explored.
Greetings, listener, and welcome to AI Explored, the human's guide to the future. I'm your host, Jeremy, a human, navigating through the cosmic sea of zeros and ones to bring you tales from the digital beyond. Now let's set the scene. It's 2024, and AI is everywhere. It's in your pocket, probably listening in on this conversation, in your car, judging your music taste, and even on your wrist, counting the steps you cheat by shaking your arm. It's like living in a sci-fi novel, but without the need to wear those shiny, uncomfortable spacesuits. Today we're embarking on a quest titled AI Explored, Making Sense of Machines That Think. It's like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but instead of learning the importance of towels, you'll discover why knowing your AI from your elbow could save the universe, or at least make sense of your latest online shopping spree. What's on the cosmic menu, you ask? We'll dive into the bubbling cauldron of AI definitions, journey through its historical compendium, and wrestle with the concepts of artificial narrow intelligence, ANI, and its more elusive cousin, artificial general intelligence, AGI. And because we're not just sending signals into the void, your signals back are crucial. Beam us your thoughts, questions, and any existential crises you've had about AI through the social media nebula or our podcast platform. Strap in, adjust your headphones, and prepare for launch. Our mission to demystify AI starts now. Let's break it down, shall we? When we talk about artificial intelligence, or AI, we're not summoning rogue robots from a dystopian future. No. We're talking about computer systems that are as smart as they are because we've crammed them with enough data until they said, fine, I'll do it myself. Imagine AI as that friend who remembers all your birthdays, knows your pizza topping preferences, and never tires of listening to you. Except this friend lives in your smartphone, speaks through your speakers, and occasionally eavesdrops. Strictly for improvement purposes, they assure you. In the wild, this digital companion manifests in various avatars, Siri and Alexa to name a few, turning our babble into actions like setting alarms or, more importantly, playing our favorite podcasts. Then there's the genius behind Netflix and Spotify, whispering, I know what you did last summer, and based on that, you'll love this indie horror flick. And let's not forget our smart homes, where devices are so helpful, they start cleaning the mess you made before you even think it's a problem. But it's not all fun and games. AI's footprints lead us to broader horizons, like healthcare, where it's not just recommending you a movie, but potentially saving lives with razor-sharp diagnostics. Or think about the gridlocked traffic. AI is the unseen hand trying to untangle that mess, making our commutes less of a plot from a horror movie. And smarter cities? AI is drafting the blueprints ensuring energy isn't just saved, but used in a way that would make even the most frugal of us nod in approval. So as we hover at the edge of this vast digital cosmos, remember, AI's impact is as profound as it is pervasive, touching every corner of our lives. It's like we're all living in a grand cosmic experiment where the lab rats occasionally have to reboot their routers. Diving headfirst into the digital paint pot, let's talk about AI's latest hobby, art. Yes, it seems our binary pals, tired of beating us at chess and recommending which cat video will finally break our resolve to work, have turned to the arts. And not just any arts, but creating pieces that would make you wonder whether it's time to trade in your beret for a hard drive. Our guide through this unexpected journey is none other than generative adversarial networks, or GANs, because nothing says creativity like two algorithms arguing over whether a blob of pixels looks more like a sunset or a bowl of soup. These AI systems are crafting images that can make you laugh, cry, or question your life choices, all without a single drop of paint. But this leads us to a cosmic conundrum. Can AI really be considered creative? Sure, it can churn out paintings and compose symphonies that might just squeeze a tear from a stone, but does it understand the heartache behind a blues chord or the joy in a splash of color? Skeptics would say you're more likely to find emotional depth in a toaster manual. And yet there's something undeniably fascinating about AI's foray into the arts. Is it simply mimicking patterns, or could this be the beginning of a new kind of creativity? A collaboration between silicon and neuron that produces art we can't yet imagine, like a sculpture that's both beautiful and capable of doing your taxes. Consider the next Rembrandt, where AI analyzed the master's works to not just imitate his style, but to create a completely new painting. Or Aeva, composing music that might not get it a record deal, but could certainly set the mood in an elevator. These aren't just tech demos, they're invitations to explore the boundaries of creativity and maybe even expand the membership of the Artists Guild to include those who compute. As we draw the digital drapes on our exploration of AI's dabbling into the arts, pondering whether it's the next Picasso or just really good at playing Pictionary with the universe, it's clear that AI is challenging us to stretch our imaginations beyond the canvas. It's making us question not just what creativity means, but who gets to wear the beret and dramatically flick paint at the canvas. And in this unfolding saga, AI isn't just the artist or the muse, it's trying to enroll in every class the University of Life has to offer. Now, picture AI on its first day of college, armed with a backpack full of textbooks it's already read cover to cover, because, let's face it, it's wrote half of them. If AI were attending university, it wouldn't merely be content mastering computer science. Oh no. It would be double majoring in everything and everything else, joining every club from philosophy to amateur robotic surgery, and probably running for student council without even campaigning. It's the kind of student that makes you wonder, do I need to up my game or just find a new game? This intellectual juggernaut isn't just crossing disciplinary boundaries. It's erasing them with a giant eraser made of pure logic, reshaping the academic landscape into a playground where it's king of the monkey bars. And as we embark on this next lecture in the grand university of AI Explored, let's brace ourselves to discover just how wide and deep this rabbit hole goes. Or, in AI's case, how efficiently it can calculate the volume and depth of said hole. First stop on this interdisciplinary tour, mathematics and statistics, the bread and butter, or perhaps the ones and zeros of AI. Here, algorithms aren't just numbers, they're the spells AI casts to transform data into decisions. Think of it as Hogwarts, but the wands are calculators and the potions are probability models. Then there's the psychology department, where AI learns the art of mind reading. Well, sort of. By delving into human cognition and behaviors, AI is being taught not just to analyze, but to understand, turning it from a mere observer of human quirks to a somewhat clunky participant in the human condition. Don't forget linguistics, where AI wrestles with the chaos of human language, a realm where read and read are spelled the same but mean different things. It's here that AI attempts to decode our babbling, turning it into something resembling coherent conversation. And then, in a quiet corner sits philosophy, pondering if a machine can think or what it means to know something. It's the realm of late night dorm debates, but with less pizza and more existential crises about consciousness and the ethical maze of creating digital minds. Last but not least, neuroscience, where AI learns by peeking over the shoulders of evolution itself, marveling at the human brain's wiring and trying its darndest to imitate its complex networks. Imagine trying to replicate the Sistine Chapel with a light bright. That's AI tackling neuroscience. This melting pot of disciplines isn't just about making AI smarter, it's about crafting systems that are more adaptable, intuitive, and dare we say, a tad more human. It's the cross-pollination of these fields that propels AI forward, blurring the lines between human intelligence and artificial ingenuity. Let's envision AI as a tree, its branches stretching every corner of our digital world, each leaf a different application of this mind-boggling technology. Let's climb this tree together, shall we? First up, we're shimmying along the branch of machine learning, or ML, if you want to sound cool at parties. Machine learning is the art of teaching computers to learn from data, kind of like training your dog to fetch, but instead of sticks, it's fetching insights. It's why your bank knows to text you when someone tries to buy a yacht on your credit card, and how social media platforms knows you're a sucker for videos of skateboarding dogs. But it's not all fun and games. Deep within ML, there's deep learning, a subfield so cool it deserves its own spy movie. It's here we find neural networks dreaming of electric sheep, or more accurately, recognizing your face in photos and deciding whether you're more a cat person or dog person based on your likes. Next, we ventured to the robotics branch, where AI meets the physical world. These aren't your sci-fi movie robots with identity crises. Yet. Instead, they're busy assembling cars, vacuuming your floors, and occasionally deciding they'd rather not work today. Robotics is where AI gets hands-on, quite literally, with the world, embodying the dream of every sci-fi enthusiast who just wants a robot butler. And finally, the branch of natural language processing, or NLP. This is where AI tries to make sense of our babbling, turning our tweets, texts, and tirades into something it can understand and respond to. Thanks to NLP, we have chatbots that can book flights, assistants that set reminders for us to call mom, and translation services that ensure I'm hungry doesn't become I'm a jellyfish in another language. As we reluctantly climb down from our metaphorical AI tree, trying not to look too ungraceful in the process, it's evident that the branches we've explored, machine learning, robotics, NLP, aren't just branches. They're the very vines reshaping the landscape of our technological jungle. They're making our lives more streamlined, more engaging, and let's be honest, giving our smartphones enough sass to occasionally talk back. It's a world enriched by AI, where your fridge knows your dietary habits better than you do, and your car, again, is quietly judging your taste in music. But now brace yourself as we step into a different kind of arena, one where the air is charged not just with electricity, but with the anticipation of an epic showdown. Picture it, a boxing ring where the contenders aren't fighters, but the very essence of intelligence itself. In the blue corner, draped in circuits and glowing with an ethereal LED aura, stands AI, ready to crunch numbers faster than a high school student before final exams. And in the red corner, representing Team Organic, are humans, flawed, brilliant, and armed with that kind of creativity that can't be programmed. We're not just pitting apples against oranges, we're putting calculators in a philosophical debate with the human soul. As the bell rings, echoing through the corridors of this metaphorical coliseum, remember, this isn't about declaring a victor in the age-old tussle between man and machine. No, this is about exploring the symphony created when silicon and neurons, data and dreams come together in a duet, or sometimes a duel of intelligence. So lace up your gloves, or if you're AI, initiate your motivational algorithms, because the bout of the century is about to begin. It's calculators versus consciousness, digital versus biological, and a friendly skirmish to understand just what makes us tick. First up, AI's processing abilities. Picture this. While you're still trying to figure out your coffee machine, AI has already processed millions of data points, predicting everything from stock market trends to what you'll want for dinner next Thursday. Its speed and efficiency are the envy of every procrastinator, turning complex calculations into child's play. And when it comes to pattern recognition, AI doesn't just see the forest for the trees, it sees the exact patterns of leaves on each tree. It's revolutionizing fields like medical imaging, where it helps diagnose diseases with the precision of a seasoned doctor, minus the handwriting nobody can read. But let's not forget consistency. AI can perform the same task with the same level of precision without ever needing a coffee break or a vacation. It's like the Energizer Bunny of technology, if the bunny was also responsible for manufacturing cars and performing surgery. Now, switching corners to human intelligence, what we lack in computational speed, we make up for in emotional intelligence. We understand nuances, manage complex relationships. Well, some of us do, and occasionally make our friends laugh. Skills that AI finds as baffling as a cat does a laser pointer. Our capacity for ethical judgment is another ace up our sleeve. Faced with complex moral dilemmas, we can navigate the gray areas that AI sees as bewildering binaries of zeros and ones. Plus, we can adapt and generalize, applying yesterday's lessons to today's problem, something AI struggles with more than a toddler with shoelaces. So, as the final bell rings on this matchup, it's clear comparing AI to human intelligence isn't about declaring a winner. It's about appreciating how these different forms of intelligence complement each other, creating a world where technology and humanity dance a delicate tango, occasionally stepping on each other's toes, but mostly moving in remarkable harmony. Imagine a world where AI and humans are not duking it out for supremacy, but instead are high-fiving each other on a job well done. This isn't a buddy cop movie. It's the reality of human AI collaboration, where the sum is indeed greater than its parts. It's like pairing wine with cheese, except here, the wine is a sophisticated algorithm, and the cheese is, well, I guess that makes it us. In the healthcare arena, AI steps in as the diagnostic whiz, sifting through mountains of medical data with the precision of a Sherlock Holmes, if Holmes were really into radiology. Meanwhile, doctors bring to the table their irreplaceable expertise in patient care, empathy, and that kind of nuanced decision making that comes from years of experience. Together, they're not just improving healthcare, they're redefining it. Then there's the creative world, where AI has picked up the paintbrush and the guitar. It's churning out melodies and masterpieces, but let's face it, sometimes they lack a certain je ne sais quoi. Enter the human artist, who takes AI's raw creations and infuses them with emotional depth, cultural context, and that indefinable human touch, turning a fascinating experiment into something genuinely moving. Education, too, is getting a facelift with AI as the personalized tutor, adapting to each student's learning pace and style. But it's the teachers, with their understanding, empathy, and ability to inspire, who truly make learning a transformative experience. AI handles the data. Educators ignite the spark, of curiosity. And let's not overlook accessibility, where AI tools are giving voice to those who struggle to be heard. Voice recognition and predictive text are more than just conveniences. They're the lifelines that enhance communication, mobility, and independence for individuals with disabilities. It's a reminder that technology, at its best, serves humanity, amplifying our abilities and breaking down barriers. As we hit the pause button on our grand tale of human AI camaraderie, where we've seen less of a sci fi skirmish and more of a buddy cop movie, minus the car chases and with significantly more programming, it's clear we're all in this together. It's not about man versus machine, but rather man plus machine versus the world's problems. Think of it as the ultimate crossover episode where the Terminator swaps his leather jacket for a lab coat and teams up with the Avengers. In this narrative, every one of us has a role to play, be it as the wisecracking sidekick or the genius behind the scenes. Together, we're not just fighting off rogue AIs, we're crafting a narrative where every day is a chance to save the world, one algorithm at a time. But now, dear listener, allow me to spin the dial of our time machine back to an era where the most sophisticated technology in your pocket was a pocket watch, and social media influencer would be presumed to be a particularly persuasive newspaper columnist. Yes, we're diving into the sepia-toned days of the early 20th century, a time renowned for its jazz, its dramatic flair in fashion, and little did they know the germination of what would become the AI revolution. Picture a world where the concept of tweeting would conjure images of spring morning filled with birdsong rather than heated online debates. A time when the notion of a smartphone would have been dismissed as fanciful as a flying car, both of which, funnily enough, we're still working on. It was in this landscape, amid the intellectual ferment of mathematicians pondering over puzzles and philosophers debating the nature of consciousness, that the seeds of AI were sown. Before the world had even come to terms with vacuum cleaners that didn't terrify the household cat, there were visionaries dreaming of machines that could think, reason, and perhaps one day even understand the human heart. With a wink and a nod to the past, let's embark on this journey through the annals of AI history, tracing the path from those early speculative conversations to the digital marvels that now populate our lives. Buckle up, it's going to be a ride filled with twists, turns, and maybe even a few unexpected pit stops along the way. Enter Alan Turing, the man, the myth, the legend, who in 1950 tossed the computing machinery and intelligence paper into the academic ring. With it came the Turing test, challenging us to consider, if you can't tell whether you're chatting with a person or a machine, does that machine think? A question that sparked more dinner party debates than the merits of pineapple on pizza. Fast forward to 1956 at the Dartmouth workshop, where artificial intelligence went from being a fantastic plot for a pulp fiction novel to an actual academic field. Spearheaded by visionaries like John McCarthy and Marvin Minsky, this was when AI's journey truly began, fueled by a cocktail of optimism and really, really ambitious goals. They were dreaming big, imagining a future filled with intelligent machines, all while the rest of the world was just trying to get their TV antennas to work. But not every season was a summer of love for AI. Enter the AI winters, a time in the late 70s and again in the 80s when disappointment in AI's progress led to the funding faucet tightening up. Expectations had soared, but the reality was a sobering cold shower, reminding everyone involved that creating thinking machines was a tad more complicated than they'd hoped. Yet, like the hero of every good story, AI wasn't down for the count. The 90s and early 2000s brought a renaissance, spurred by machine learning and the internet suddenly becoming everyone's new best friend. Remember IBM's Deep Blue and its chess showdown with Garry Kasparov in 97? That was AI whispering, "I'm back." And let's not forget Google DeepMind's AlphaGo, which in 2016 showed us that even the ancient game of Go wasn't safe from AI's grasp. This brief tour through AI's history shows us not just a timeline of achievements, but a saga of dreams, setbacks, and comebacks. It's a journey marked by human ambition, curiosity, and let's be honest, a healthy dose of stubbornness. Because at the heart of AI's story is us, humans, striving to understand what it means to think, to learn, and to create. First up in our Hall of Fame is Alan Turing, a man whose brilliance was only matched by his ability to ask, but what if? Turing wasn't just ahead of his time, he was busy setting the clock for the rest of us. With the Turing test, he threw down the gauntlet. Can machines mimic human intelligence well enough to fool us? It was his way of saying, let's see what you've got, to both machines and the future AI researchers. Then there's Marvin Minsky, the proverbial godfather of AI, who probably looked at a room full of vacuum tubes and saw potential friends. Co-founding the MIT AI lab, Minsky wasn't just pioneering AI, he was crafting the very sandbox in which future generations would play. His vision for neural networks laid the groundwork for, well, pretty much the entire internet as we know it. Talk about leaving a legacy. And we can't talk about AI without tipping our hats to Geoffrey Hinton, affectionately known as the godfather of deep learning. Hinton took neural networks from a cool science fair project to the powerhouse behind today's AI. Every time your phone recognizes your face, or you yell at your voice assistant, you have Hinton to thank. He's the reason AI can tell a cat from a croissant, most of the time. But the story doesn't end with the legends. Today's innovators, like Fei-Fei Li and Andrew Ng, are the new superheroes of AI. Li's work in computer vision is helping machines understand our world visually, turning them into keen observers of the human saga. And Ng? He's out there democratizing AI, making sure anyone with curiosity and an internet connection can contribute to the next chapter of human history. And let's not forget the ethical warriors like Timnit Gebru, ensuring AI's power serves the good without marginalizing or discriminating. Their work reminds us that AI's future isn't just about what it can do, but what it should do. In their hands, AI is more than a tool. It's a testament to our values. As we draw the curtains on our tour through the annals of AI history, we've seen the giants upon whose silicon shoulders we stand. From Turing's daydreams about thinking machines to the modern maestros weaving the digital fabric of our future, we've journeyed through the evolution of artificial minds. These visionaries didn't just scribble equations and code, they were sculpting the very essence of tomorrow. Imagine them, if you will, as the Michelangelos of the Matrix, only instead of marble, they're chiseling away at the infinite possibilities of ones and zeros. But now, let's pivot from the grandiose to the granular, from the sweeping epics to the short stories of AI. Enter ANI, or Artificial Narrow Intelligence, the unsung hero of our digital age. Think of ANI as the Swiss Army knife in the AI toolbox, except it's more of a single, perfectly honed blade than a multi-tool. It's the specialist, the one-trick pony with a PhD in getting things done right. While the dreamers were dreaming and the thinkers were thinking, ANI has been busy doing, executing tasks with a precision that's both awe-inspiring and slightly unnerving. If AI's development history was a grand, sprawling novel, ANI would be the short story collection, each application a concise, self contained tale of efficiency and specialization. In a world where I'm still wrestling with the assembly instructions of a bookshelf, ANI is out there flawlessly navigating complex data, making split second decisions, and yes, probably assembling furniture without breaking a sweat or swearing at an Allen wrench. ANI is where the rubber meets the road, the pixel meets the eye, and the algorithm meets, well, everything. It's the workhorse of the AI family, dedicated to its craft, whether that's recognizing your face in a sea of billions, optimizing your morning commute, or curating your evening's entertainment with an uncanny accuracy. It's about doing one thing so well you'd swear it's showing off, if, algorithms could gloat. Contrast this with human intelligence, a veritable Swiss Army knife, juggling tasks from solving complex equations to figuring out the fastest queue at the supermarket. ANI, however, is content mastering one skill, like a virtuoso playing the same note to perfection every single time. In the trenches of everyday life, ANI is the unsung hero. Voice assistants like Siri and Alexa patiently decipher our mumbled commands to play music or set alarms, sparing us from the tyranny of manual switches. Then there are recommendation engines, Netflix crystal ball predicting that yes, after a long day, you indeed want to binge watch that new series about baking disasters. And let's not overlook autonomous vehicles, navigating the chaotic dance of rush hour traffic with a calmness that most human drivers can only dream of. These examples aren't just showcasing technology, they're enhancing human life, one tailored experience at a time. The ripple effect of ANI is immense. In healthcare, it's the detective uncovering clues in our DNA to outsmart diseases. In finance, it's the guardian angel watching over transactions, ready to pounce on fraud. ANI may not wear a cape, but in the digital realm, it's a superhero, quietly and efficiently making our world a safer, more convenient place. So, as we wrap up our tour of artificial narrow intelligence, remember, while it might not have the broad strokes of human ingenuity, ANI's focus and efficiency are transforming our world one task at a time. It's the proof that sometimes being really good at one thing is exactly what we need. Now, if ANI is the specialist, artificial general intelligence, or AGI, is the Renaissance person of the AI world. Picture a machine that can paint like Van Gogh, debate like Socrates, and perhaps even cook like Gordon Ramsay, all before breakfast. AGI isn't just about mastering tasks, it's about wielding the full spectrum of human intellect with a dash of machine efficiency. But carving this universal key to intelligence isn't as simple as duplicating a spare for your front door. The quest for AGI is filled with hurdles high enough to make an Olympic athlete blink. We're talking about cracking the code of human cognition, teaching machines to understand not just patterns, but emotions, ethics, and the art of learning itself. Researchers are knee-deep in this endeavor, diving into the depths of deep learning, poking at cognitive architectures, and attempting to teach machines the subtle art of getting it. It's a journey that's as much about understanding ourselves as it is about advancing AI, a sort of digital introspection. Imagine for a moment a world where AGI exists. Beyond the cool factor of having a chat with your toaster about existentialism, AGI could revolutionize how we tackle global challenges. Climate change? AGI could model solutions we can barely comprehend. Disease? It might one day outdiagnose the best human doctors. Poverty? AGI could streamline resources with precision and empathy. But with great power comes great, well, you know. The advent of AGI opens a Pandora's box of ethical dilemmas. How do we ensure these superintelligent entities share our values? What does it mean for job security, privacy, or even the essence of what makes us human? Crafting a world where AGI benefits all without sidelining humanity to the role of spectators in their own story is a challenge that makes solving Rubik's Cubes blindfolded seem like child's play. The conversations surrounding AGI aren't just academic. They're vital to ensuring that as we stride forward, we do so with caution, compassion, and a healthy dose of common sense. It's about governance, ethical AI development, and ensuring that as we give birth to these digital entities, they grow up to be responsible members of the cosmic community. So as we gaze into the horizon where AGI might one day stand, let's remember the future of AI is as much in our hands as it is in the circuits and code. It's a collaborative effort, a dialogue between human values and machine capabilities, aiming to create not just intelligent machines, but a future where intelligence, whether artificial or human, serves to elevate us all. So as we explore the future of AI, making the leap from our trusty ANI, who's really good at reminding us about our mother's birthday, to AGI, a potential digital Leonardo da Vinci, is like jumping from building sandcastles to constructing skyscrapers overnight. It's not just a step, it's a giant leap for machine kind, requiring not just technological wizardry, but a whole new way of thinking about thinking. The road is littered with technological hurdles. Imagine teaching a machine not just to recognize a cat in a photo, but to understand why humans find cats utterly adorable, even when they're knocking everything off the table. We're talking about endowing machines with the ability to generalize knowledge, to grasp common sense, a feat even humans struggle with, and to navigate the complex web of social and emotional intelligence. But it's not just about what AI can do, it's about how it does it. As we edge closer to AGI, the ethical tightrope becomes a high wire act. Transparency, accountability, and fairness aren't just nice to haves, they're must haves, ensuring that as AI makes decisions, it considers the mosaic of human values and diversity. And then there's the elephant in the room, the impact on jobs, privacy, and the very fabric of society. How do we ensure AGI doesn't lead to a future where our role is more akin to the family pet than the master of the house? Looking ahead, the path to AGI and beyond isn't one we tread alone. It's a collaborative expedition requiring the brightest minds from every discipline, from ethics to engineering, philosophy to physics. The conversation about where we're heading needs to be as inclusive as it is expansive, involving not just the AI elite, but everyone who stands to be affected by this technological evolution. As we dial down from our speculative sprint into the sunrise of AGI, pausing to catch our collective breath, it's clear that we're standing at the edge of an extraordinary chapter in the saga of intelligence, both artificial and authentically human. Our journey through the realms of AI, from its simplest form to the dizzying heights of what it might become, is less about the destination and more about the path we choose to tread. The future of AI, a vast, uncharted expanse, awaits our first brushstroke on a canvas as expansive as the digital sky itself. Now, with the precision of a GPS that's finally learned not to direct us into lakes, we've navigated the complex landscape of AI together. From AI's humble once upon a time in the minds of visionary mathematicians and philosophers, through the nooks and crannies of ANI's practical magic, to the lofty dreams of AGI, we've traversed a narrative rich with innovation, ambition, and a fair share of plot twists. Along this journey, we've brushed shoulders with the titans who've paved our digital pathways, wrestled with the moral conundrums that keep ethicists up at night, and smirked at the learning algorithms that knew we'd trade passwords for the perfect bean water. In this exploration, we've seen that AI isn't just a story of circuits and code. It's a mirror reflecting our own quest for understanding, creativity, and connection. It challenges us to ponder not just the intelligence we can engineer, but the kind of world we wish to inhabit. And as we stand here, at what feels like both an end and a beginning, it's clear that the tale of AI and humanity is an ongoing epic, a collaborative masterpiece authored by us all. Now, it's over to you. What visions or dilemmas has AI conjured up for you? Have you marveled at AI's ingenuity? Or have you encountered a digital conundrum that left you befuddled? Share your tales, inquiries, and reflections with us. Let's continue to weave this dialogue together, charting a path where AI and humanity harmonize in a symphony of forward-thinking innovation. Stay connected with us for this and more at the URL humanguide.ai and follow us on social media with the handle @humanguide.ai. Your engagement, curiosity, and laughter are what make this journey truly extraordinary. A heartfelt thank you for venturing with me, dear listener, through the realms of artificial intelligence. Until we reconvene, stay curious, keep dreaming expansively, and never cease to explore. This has been Jeremy, your guide and fellow human through the fascinating world of AI. Signing off from AI Explored, the human's guide to the future. The future isn't pre-written, it's collectively coded, one insight, one discovery, one episode at a time.
AI Explored.
Looking ahead, brace yourself for our next episode. We'll unravel the tapestry of tales surrounding AI, dissecting fact from fiction with a sprinkle of humor and perhaps a dash of unexpected wisdom. It should be an enlightening escapade into the heart of AI's most enduring legends and laughable misconceptions.